everyone, welcome back to Hillside Haven. Today we've got a couple of different things we've got to do, but Lexi Belle is just riding around on her new golf cart. Well, not new, but new to them. And got a couple of tours today. Gonna roll through the garden and see what's going on. Just wanted to bring you all along with us. So you gonna drive us around for a minute?
Yes.
Like how green everything is. It's so pretty. Thanks for the ride, Lex. See you later. Bye. Love you. I love that thing. Today, we're going to fertilize the garden. We're going to go ahead and start fertilizing. I just need to fertilize everything, and I'm not one that's necessarily particular about different fertilizers that I use. As long as what I'm putting on the soil is organic nutrients and it's not synthetic chemical fertilizers, I'm okay with that. So we're just going to go ahead and top dress. This is a granule. And we're just going to go and top dress everything and water it in really well. So it's also really important to remember that even if you're using organic fertilizers, it's better to be safe than sorry, and you definitely don't want to over fertilize your plants. So whatever fertilizer you're using, I just recommend like reading the back of the bag and understanding what you're doing. I don't necessarily follow it to a T. I just like gently broadcast and top dress and then water it in really well to all my plants. But I definitely don't go overboard. I would much rather have to fertilize more frequently whenever it needs it than over fertilize once and burn all my plants. And even organic fertilizers can burn your plants if you put too much on at once. So better safe than sorry. Love you, baby. Have fun, okay? So something that's also really important to consider whenever you're going in with your fertilizer is what stage your plants are at that moment. So like, for example, in the early stages of the garden, when everything's just coming up and it's expended its last little bit of nutrients from seed starting or sprouting from seed if you direct sowed. If you're going to fertilize something like that, I go in with, personally, this is totally up to you, I go in with a fish fertilizer that's a 5-1-1, and all that means is it's 5% nitrogen, 1% phosphorus, and 1% potassium. And so it's the nitrogen is just going to really promote the leafy growth that you're wanting to see in your plants early on. But like, for example, out here right now, all of my plants are beginning to fruit. And so it's really important that I go in with something that's a little more nutrient dense than just nitrogen, so just a fish fertilizer. So the granule that I'm using is 3-5-6, so that's 3% nitrogen, 5% phosphorus, and 6% potassium. And so that's a really great thing to go in with whenever your stuff is starting to produce. 3% nitrogen is going to help the leafy growth of the plant, and that's still a good thing even whenever your plants are starting to produce. But the 5% of phosphorus is going to support the root development and the flowering and the fruiting of the plant. And then the 6% of the potassium is going to help just the overall hardiness of the plant. So whether that might be disease resistance or water uptake, it's just going to overall help the health of the plant. So whenever you're going in with the fertilizer, it's just important to remember what stage of growth your plants are in. So like I said early on, I go in with more heavy nitrogen, and whenever my stuff starts, when all of my veggies and flowers and plants are starting to actually flower and fruit, then I'll go in with like a 3-5-6 or something like that. So just read the back of whatever you're fertilizing with, and that'll help you. It'll guide you through and let you know like what the most important things are and what it's going to do for your plants.
Come on.
Is it a surprise?
Yes.
Well, I love surprises. Oh my goodness. Thank you, baby. What did you make?
I just did yogurt, and then I put raspberries and then whipped cream.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This looks amazing. Oh, it's so beautiful too. Thank you, honey. I love it so much. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
You know I love raspberries.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, hold on. Go ahead. That is delicious, baby. Thank you. What do you think? You love it? That's a good recipe. You did good, girl. What is this?
It's like, what is it called again? It's just
Basil?
No, it's water, lemon, and mint, and basil.
Okay. So lemon, basil, water. I don't know what we call it.
Really?
That's very tasty. Basil, lemon, mint water. Is that what we call it? I love it, baby. Thank you. Thank you, love. I love it so much. That is a tasty treat after working in the garden all day.
And it's good for refreshing.
It's very refreshing.
And that's another.
It's so thoughtful. Thank you, honey pie. There's our little rabbit buddies coming back inside from our snack, and they're just right there. Oh no! Lost a flop again. You coming?
Yeah, my flip-flop.
Alright, now we got everything fertilized, so we gotta water it in really well. Oh, so beautiful out here.
Sticky notes.
Yeah, they're over there. Okay, so I'm about to water all these in really well, but I wanted to show y'all what we've got going on here. I would say this one's ready, but we'll take it to Pawpaw tomorrow. It could stay on the vine another day, and we promised Pawpaw that we would give him the first tomato, even though it's just a little baby. We've got like lots of other good stuff going on. We've got some yellow pear tomatoes right here, and more over there. Then we've got these black strawberry tomatoes, and they're looking so beautiful. This, I know I've said this before, but this is like the long-standing tomato that I had last year, so I definitely wanted to grow it again. So even through the summer heat here in North Texas, these produced all year long, which is so exciting. They're really nice tomatoes. They're sweet. They're bigger than a cherry, but not quite like a pear tomato. And then look at that goodness. These are the hybrid tomatoes that we got from the store. Like, bought the seed starts. All of those over there we started ourselves. Wow, look at this guy. Oh, it's so big. Like, I can't wait for them to start turning so we can pull a big slicer. But at the same time, I'm very curious to know, like, how big this thing gets. And we started these from seed too. These are Brandywines. And they're looking really nice and healthy, which is super exciting. Right there and right there. What is this one? Yeah, that's a Brandywine too. So yeah, they're all looking so good. Let's go check the other ones. The onions are doing awesome. I'm so excited because I was telling my husband and my mother-in-law the other day, I was not pointing at that one though, I was pointing at, no, maybe it was this one. This right here is probably the biggest onion I've ever grown. Like, hands down, biggest onion I've ever grown. And I'm not seeing any signs of flowering or anything. And so I'm really excited. Like, I want them to grow big because we use onions in almost every single meal. And so I want to have big onions that I can store and that we can cook with. And we're not just like chopping up a bunch of like little bitty things like I have in the past. But I've been growing onions for probably, I don't know, 5 years, 4 years, 5 years. This is probably my 5th season that I've actually known what I was doing and knew what they needed and anticipated the fertilization of them and all of that. So we'll see how big they get. And hopefully this will be the year of the decent sized kitchen onion. And these potatoes are doing really well. They're starting to yellow, which is awesome. You don't typically want your plants to look like they're about to die, but in this case, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for fresh potatoes. And potatoes, whenever you know that they're ready, is they will put on flowers. And then they'll put on, I don't know if I have any more over here. I did. Yeah, there we go. Little clusters of fruit, which is really strange. I mean, these are technically like potato seeds. You can grow them. I've heard. I've never tried. But you can grow potatoes from those, apparently. I've only ever grown tubers that had roots on them. But whenever you know your potatoes are ready is like they look like this, but then they start to yellow and they start to die back. And whenever it looks like the plant is just done for and all laid over and sad, that's how you know that your tubers are good to go and you're ready to harvest. We've got some yellowing here, so that's good. I planted this potato bed 2 weeks before I planted this other one over here, so that's good news. I'm ready for some fresh potatoes. This one right here is the plants that I did, potato plants that I did like probably I want to say it was like 2 weeks after I planted the one that I just showed you. And so this one is starting to flower. They're all starting to flower. It's actually kind of pretty. And so that's good. They're just a couple of weeks behind the other ones. I will store some potatoes, but I don't want like a huge flush all at once. The green bean bed is looking good. We have little teeny tiny green beans on them, which is super exciting. I'm ready. I'm ready for fresh green beans. I'm ready for fresh potatoes. I'm ready for stir fry. Like, that's my most favorite, well, not really spring, but like, I guess it is, like late spring meal is to have potatoes, onions, and green beans and then fry that up, like saute that up with some sausage and then just make like a garden fresh stir fry. That's like one of my most favorite things to do. Squash and zucchini is doing really well. I have lots of female squash, which is really exciting, but I don't have any male blooms yet. So these are just gonna die off probably because I don't have any male blooms to fertilize the female squash fruit. So it'll be okay. There's lots of like male buds on them. I know that there's going to be very soon, but I'm also really anxiously awaiting squash season. Some peppers here, our cucumbers are doing well. I'm not seeing any tendrils yet, but the plants are nice and healthy, so that's always good news. Then we've got the rest of the tomatoes over here. I'm anxiously awaiting everything in the garden, so I keep saying like, I'm looking forward to this, or I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the first like big, beautiful slicer tomato. So these are Amish paste right here. Oh look, these are doing really well. Amish paste is an heirloom variety and it's really similar to Aroma. So that's what those are. These tomato plants right here get significantly less sun than the rest of the tomatoes. So I think this is our first year growing one on this farm and also in raised beds and also in this space. So first year for everything. New soil, new beds, new place, new everything. So I'm curious, these plants are significantly smaller than my other plants, but they also look really healthy, and I'm wondering if that's not going to help us later in the growing season when those over there are exposed to the Texas heat 24/7, and then these have just a little bit of shade. So I don't know, we'll see. These are really healthy looking too. Here I have like multiple different varieties. Let's see if we can figure out which one is which. I planted a seed pack, like a seed started a package that was rainbow heirloom is what it was called. And I typically don't do that because if I really, really like a variety, then I won't know exactly what kind of plant it is or what kind of tomato it is. So I try not to do that. But in this case, I had a bunch of seeds, so I went ahead and just seed started them. And we'll just have rainbow heirlooms and not know what they are. And that's totally fine. These two, I don't know what these are. But they're looking nice. Looking healthy. Here we've got several of the pepper plants that we purchased. Like little baby bell peppers. What is this? Anaheim chili pepper. Lots of babies. Sweet banana, that's exciting. Zinnias, the girls started those from seed. I don't know, sometime in January. This is a sweet banana pepper. Oh my. I would say this thing is ready. It doesn't just like come off whenever you pull it, but I mean, it's pretty massive. It's still green too, so I don't know. I'll leave it for a day or so and see what it does, because it might even get bigger and sweeter because it's still green. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Our okra babies, which is super exciting. I had some really old seeds that I planted out. Seeds that I saved from okra from several garden seasons ago. So I wasn't really sure how well they would do. But these are doing really well. That's why you see like the double planting of them. I'll let them go like another day or so. I planted one here, didn't get any germination, so we'll see. And then I'll probably thin out like the plant that looks the least healthy, because okra plants get absolutely massive, and so I don't want to overcrowd them. So I will prune the least healthy ones and have one per little area. Now I'm just going to water this fertilizer in really well so those plants can absorb all of that nutrients. Alright y'all, and that's it for the day. We fertilized, we watered it in really well, and the garden's looking amazing. The sun is shining. It's starting to go down now, but we're having really good weather, which is super exciting. So anyways, thank y'all for coming along with me today, and remember, positivity starts with you. Bye!